Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.
Hello everybody, welcome back of course to some more minor action as we get ready to actually wrap up the schedule. It's been honestly quite a long few weeks, but here we are. Will be the final evening of matches, at least those that are scheduled so far, of course in the minor qualifiers. Tonight I'll be bringing you both of our lower bracket matches in North America, while over on the May stream we will also have Luminosity versus Quest and Singularity versus ATK. Meanwhile on this stream it will be of course Team 1 versus Bad News Bears, who have the greatest logo I've ever seen, versus their new identity and Envious, which will be coming up in just under 3 hours time. Now, a little bit of a pause before we get into this one, heads rolling through the schedule. But looks like we're all set up. We are just waiting now for both teams to ready up, and we can hit the ground running and get into the CS. With that said, we'll be taking a fairly laid-back approach during this cast. If you do want to ask questions in the chat, have a discussion, all that jazz, then feel free to put your comments in the Twitch chat, and you never know, maybe, just maybe, you'll get a response. With that said, this is actually looking to be quite the interesting matchup. I think the odds, to be honest, don't necessarily reflect what the match could potentially be. Obviously, if you are looking at the GG bet odds, it's 2.47 to the 1.50 right now, favouring Team 1. Not super substantially, but still a fair bit, I think, favouring the Brazilian side. And, you know, honestly, I think there might be a little bit more credit to be given to Bad News Bears. I mean, hey, you look back in the past, there have been some very close matches of CS. So, going to be interesting to see how this one pans out. I mean, they played, what, earlier on this month? 16-19 was the result. Prior to that, a month ago, 16-8. Not as close, but still, that was actually on Nuke, which is where we're going to be in map 1. So, yeah, I would be quite careful putting your money down on this one. Too sure where this is going to head. Also, V2 is going to be Nuke, then Mirage, then Overpass, so certainly quite curious to see sort of how Nuke pans out, given that it's probably the most tactical, or complex, I think, of the two maps in here. In its own way, it's Nuke, but definitely say it's a little different from Mirage, say. Unfortunately, though, it looks like we are finding ourselves in a bit of an extended pause, which is not the greatest start to the day, unfortunately. Our track record for pauses hasn't been ideal recently. What we'll have to do is just wait this one out. We can get into it, of course. Taking a look at the bracket in the meantime. Let's get ourselves refreshed. Sleep. Already having Furia, Lazarus, E-United, and NRG into the Americas Minor. Leaves only 2 spots now remaining, with Mythic, Party Astronaut, Cloud9, and Peaker's Advantage all being eliminated in 13th to 16th. So these last few games in the lower bracket are so critical now. It really is going to decide the fate of what the 8 teams, I believe, that we currently have. So effectively its own little shootout 8-team tournament. Okay, here we go. Nuke is going to be map number 1, and we're going to kick things off, of course. Team 1 on that CT side. Bad News Bears starting on their T side as well. Already they see a lovely aggressive shot from DK. The CT side just shutting them down. The Brazilians raining hellfire on the Bears. They try and make their way out through A. Only 1 or 2 kills finally being found, but too little too late. It's a 1-on-3 here. What could you possibly do? Flagged from the side. That's going to finish things off. It'll be Team 1 with a strong pistol round to start things off on their CT side. Obviously now going for the immediate investment. MP9s, getting the AUG up as well on DK. You got the Famises in play. Hey, you got a cheeky MP5 as well. Can't really complain at that. Opposition, meanwhile, not really taking the ballsy strategy of investing into this one. We actually did see it a fair bit in the minor. It's quite a common strategy as well we saw in the Asian qualifiers. Teams just going immediately for the second round force up, but nice to see. A bit more of a patient approach, I think, for this T side. Just taking the P250s here. They do have a deagle up on one player, but it won't be the end of the world. They'll have money to work with in these future rounds. Now, I do hope that everything is live and working the way it should be, because my Twitch dashboard is just saying we failed to get information on everything. So, basically a whole bunch of red errors, but knock on wood, we're still live. Fortunately, Twitch doesn't seem to want to load for me right now. Nonetheless, not a huge amount to really talk about. It is going to be just some quick frags coming through for the CT side, just making some sweet, sweet dollar. Especially when you give it the SMGs, the kills, just happy days. Does, of course, put the CT side up to 2 now, but this is the one we're waiting for. Round number 3, the investment comes in full force for the Bad News Bears, and they get themselves up the 5 AKs, most importantly, the utility on their core 3, the 2 extra smokes on Shinobi and Co as well. That'll be huge for their T side. Curious to see if they will go for an immediate setup here, if it's going to be just a default into a late round take. A lot of options on what they can do on their kind of first opening T round here. But we're already seeing the outside smokes, at least a portion of them, come down. That smoke there is purely to help them get up onto Silo, but unfortunately a mistake comes in. Mazayu opens himself up to DK, who just picks him off. Mitch is going to try and get out through outside now and see if he can creep round through blue. Shinobi forcing the duel, in fact, but with Mitch getting caught, that outside pressure slowly but surely going to be delinquished. Great flash as well, means Shinobi next in line to get caught out. Dirk finding Crashy is just things going from bad to worse. All it leaves now is Peter, and what could he possibly do in a 1-on-4? Yes, he's got the tools, that AK, but no utility to help him out. Does have a minute on the clock at least, but 4 players to find is a huge ask, and, well, I'll lose the 1-on-1 to Luke in the end anyhow, so a 3-0 start, Team 1 feeling very comfortable on their CT side. We're going to see now back onto Deagles and such again for this T side as kind of just a repeat of round 2, to be honest. Hopefully we'll be able to get 1 or 2 picks of the pistols. That would be an ideal start, I think. That, not so much. I mean, poor Shinobi just getting right-clicked in the back. See if they can maybe bag 1 or 2 Deagle picks. There's our answer. Now, Bit did drop a weapon that you can try and go snatch if he wants, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to hang on to it. A lot of time still remaining. Might be able to get a kill here with the SMG, actually, and upgrade to the AWP, so not all bad. Still, though, you find yourself asking what's the play. 50 seconds left. Let's get a 1-on-1 potentially towards ramp, but that immediately disappears. Never mind, 40 seconds on the clock. Doesn't have the bomb on his back either. Really only got 2 options. It's either commit for the save and just really try and last as long as you can, or attempt to be an absolute hero and pull through the round. He's got a route on towards A. He's got the bomb now on his back. It's all there for him. He can double back towards B if he wants it as well, but doing that means he's going to cut it exceptionally close, because he's, oh, not having the time left. Really hitting a sick flick, but just an inch off of his head, and that will be that. A 4-0 start takes hold. Continue the comfort, really, from this CT side. Also, just pistols in play there, so we don't want to get too pumped up for the CTs. Getting pressured a fair bit in the end, but the result's still the same. It will still be 4-0, but hopefully these Bears now have got enough information. They have to figure out how to crack the CT side. Maybe take a few earlier duels towards ramp, potentially. Outside certainly doesn't seem to be working for them. Very over-aggressive in some cases, just trying to see if they can maybe catch an opportunity, but they find themselves getting caught every time. There, they try to go for the quick AWP peek, but Peter just burns away in the flames. A last tick spread comes in clutch and takes him down. They will try and rally their way through ramp, though, which I like. And with Shinobi finding DK as well as he gets aggressive, that does set the T side to be in a much better position. They're going to try and wrap around on towards A. Mitch walking right into it there. Perfect play. Quick kill as well. His advantage comes firmly now into position for this T side. The flashes, Molotovs as well, will rain down on towards the A side. That's going to force all these CTs out of position. Making their life real difficult here as they try and hold on. Another pick comes in, heavily favouring this T side now. Both players at least present on A, but what more can they do? It's all going to come down to bit in the end, and, well, it just doesn't account for RZU coming in through door. Quite as much pressure this time around now. They're just waiting to see if the CT side will get aggressive. We did see them push through door and make that exact play last round, Maluk. You were read like a book, giving up a free kill. Will be immediately traded though, as the key difference there from the past round to this round is Panthers Bears didn't get aggressive at all. They sat back and they just waited, and, well, Team 1, they just kept on coming. It was the gift that keeps on giving. Unfortunately, the T-side start to dive in a little bit, see where they can push and prod, and that's where it comes back to haunt them. Equalise now, back to a 4-on-4. They're going to start from 0 all over again. Good flash will come through, and Crashies just forces the duel. That will leave us in this 3v3. Both close on the side, gets traded, but still damage done. Has to be so cautious of Heaven, though. Bit just there, wreaking havoc. Shinobi is last man standing. And he knows the position of one, but doesn't know at all where DK is. And, well, that's where he gets cracked in the end. Team 1 now 5-1. Cracking in the economy of Bad News Bears, ironically. That leaves us here. Very limited chance now. This T side, I mean, this round is scrappy. Got a couple of weapons in play, but all in all, not too much. Curious to see if there's anything behind Mitch, or if he's literally going to be rocking it with his Glock out now. Finally spends up that last 1,700 bucks into some utility and a deagle as well. Do need to see a little bit more from Bad News Bears, I think. But a couple of good picks in the previous round, but they crumbled really by just trying to change things up. If they actually just repeated their play from the past, just seen a slightly different result there, but at the end of the day, that's all hearsay, and looking at the situation top down, being in the server as a whole, different story completely. Let's see, let's keep an eye on what they do here. Pressuring outside once again. DK will find himself one, but a quick trade comes through, so that will keep things fairly even. Question remains though, will we see anything come through from a late lurker? Through Secret, for example, or maybe Shinobi up and above. Maluk maybe from Heaven. Well, his head's immediately blown off, and a great smoke as well. Actually, he's going to block off any rotators. It's all on the players on site to try and hold this one down, and they are falling like flies. Peter, good to find. Turk, a nade landing up on towards Beard as well. That's going to force him back. Secures a bomb plant, most importantly. Martin can't find something here, then this round is all but done, and, well, there you have it. He'll only get one. He's immediately traded. Heaven, meanwhile, just annihilated by Peter, and we see a second snuck into play. Scrappy pistols now in play here for Team 1. See what they can claw back. Luke does have the scouts, and that does complement these deagles quite a fair bit. If you can find a couple of nice shots, then, well, it'll give those deagles that one-hit potential. It is reliant on Maluk being able to actually tag anyone down. Likewise for the CZs as well, of course, 2 of those in play. Actually, I've got the 1 deep potential, but that's not quite going to happen. The CZs do get close. First shot comes in, but a second, well, No, but it's left in the chamber, so we'll see how that unfolds. And bit by bit, pick by pick, it all seems to work out. Team 1 now with just 2 remaining. Make that 1. It should disappear fairly quickly here. And we'll go out, oh, at least swinging. The result's still the same. Well, back and forth game, all things considered. Right when you think Team 1 are taking a decisive charge, Anthony better step back into play and make Nuke a little bit more competitive again. And I don't want to say that's kind of how I expected this game to go. When you look at the past matches, they really don't line up, you know, in terms of results, in terms of what these two teams are capable of, their caliber, to what the odds are, I think, in all honesty. Potentially Nuke might be a slightly different affair from maybe how Mirage will pan out, but so far, it's all to play for. Both teams having their rounds. Unfortunately, Team 1 just USPs here, so this should be a 4 for the T side. We're practically equalised. How long is Bit just going to hang on for? Actually taken down. Just easy pickings, I think, for those rifles. Quite a critical buy now the sides if we're going to see Bad News Bears. What a name, by the way. Absolutely love it. It's quite a mouthful to pronounce, but still, glorious name. You can always thank North American Counter-Strike for bringing you some of the greatest team names. Plus, their logo is just 10 out of 10 as well. What I want to know is, did they make the logo, or was that a logo provided for them by a tournament? Because sometimes that can happen when you're playing sort of with a more generic name. And you don't have a logo per se. Kind of curious. Or maybe it's a show or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. What I do know is that Bit right now is just putting in the work. Boosted and, well, he's just laying him down. Triple hill back towards ramp as he plays in crossfire with Maluk. And that pretty much shuts down any chance in this round. It's going to be Mitch and Peter trying to claw it back. But the only advances they have are on towards the B site where, you guessed it, they don't have the bomb. Yes, they get a pick for their troubles, but the bomb has been completely sieged by this CT side. And, well, getting close is going to be a tough thing for you to achieve. Maluk proving that point as he rattles away at Mitch. Taking him down as well. We'll shoot his teammate for a little bit of damage, but not the end of the world as Peter is just across the other side of the map now. 30 seconds on the clock. That AK looking mighty fine to be carried into round 11. It's a classic advert, chess. It really is. I'm kind of surprised it's still showing, though. I mean, that show's kind of old now, right? Like... Peter going for the same aggressive door pick. Didn't work out last time, won't work out this time as well. But hey, there's one added benefit. He's not going to die in the flames this time. But at least he keeps things intact, keeps things evened up in a 5-on-5. Lovely water smoke towards outside as well. So I kind of feel like all the seeds are here right now for something great from this T side, if they want to execute upon it, that is. Because they are struggling to actually make the cross work. Do see a nice trade come through. They're wrapping now in towards A, and that's where Turk is just having a field day right now. Thankfully, his teammates aren't quite delivering, so it will mean he eventually falls. DK will trade in the end, and Bit, well, no one knows he's got up in rafters. This is a disaster. The 1v1 comes into play, RCU will hear him drop. Does he know where he's going to be? There is your answer. Hears him drop, watches him like a hawk as he comes around to the side of the silo. Finds him head just point blank. Lovely stuff. It will be 6-5. CT's back on uneven money as well. It will prompt an immediate pause on Bad News Bears. Pause will conclude, and that leaves us here. One SMG, of course. Rest on pistols. We're not exactly in the greatest of positions moving forward into this one, but they're keeping that distance, ironically, at 1, which is by far the most important thing on their CT side, especially on Nuke. Don't want to be careful not to give up too many T rounds here. Mitch in the vent, causing a bit of a ruckus. He's actually banging Turk as well through it, which is just disgusting to see. Oh my lord, Mitch, what are you doing, buddy? How can you get away with that? Peter can push through as well, and that's a 3rd kill for you. Thankfully, it's, you know, players without Kevlar and such, but it's still quite creative to see him just banging every player through all of the walls, in fact. Unfortunately, the only 2 weapons in play seem to be dying very quickly here. Just the 1 AK now. It's also a glass cannon AK, if that makes any sense. Wonder if they'll actually find him. Man, it's just like Mission Impossible right now, just sat under these stairs. They have no idea, do they? Someone in their mind, someone's cleared this. That's the best bit. Peter is right there as well, just creeping around. Don't do it, buddy. Just stay alive. Don't do it. Wait until at least the clocks run right down to the bitter end, and then just take him down. Oh, you love to see it. Love to see it. Jess, I don't know why you just got timed out. You used a banned phrase apparently, but I'm reading it and I don't know what phrase in that sentence is banned. But unfortunately I can't do it. It's a Moobot thing. You're using one of the banned phrases. I'm not sure what it is. Is it the emote? I think it might be the baby rage emote maybe, because it's the only thing you've used different, right? Either way, 6-6 now. All tied up finally after what has been such a back and forth game. So yes, you're spot on. Moobot is stupid. We should hold a riot. Let's get some pitchforks. Bit. Great early pick towards outside. So far, so good. Towards ramp, sorry, but talking of outside, DK is getting it done anyway. Eventually will be traded, but you got Burton and Co coming out towards this upper side. They can really just look down all secret, make sure that's all covered. What they don't necessarily know is what's going on towards ramp, and that could prove to be problematic as we evened out in this 3-on-3 here. And Maluk on 16 HP is also a factor you need to keep in your back of your mind. That's quite a valuable pick though. Make it to 2 and 3. Okay, fair enough, buddy. Turk lines him up and he knocks him down. 7-6. I'm disappointed, Suyash, that you of all people didn't understand that there was a classic pitchfork quote in there, but you missed it. Space Cow, I hear you, buddy. We're kind of doing it all at once, so bear with. Want to buy a better Nuke minimap, by the way. Mitch now leading the charge once again towards inside of A. Will find himself one, but the trade's coming through thick and fast. Nuke up in rafters, gets himself inside as well, and that just causes more problems as the reinforcements are here to stay. And these pistols even able to get close. Smoke gonna make their life even more difficult, but at least they have the saving grace of they can get close to it and then just maybe jump through, but... well, maybe that's more of a Hail Mary than anything else. We'll have to see. But Peter's just gone for the strategy of make as much noise as possible while moving towards ramp. Shinobi's strategy pays off. Still sort of curious to see what Peter can get up to, though. He's made so much noise, they should definitely know he's here. Right up through secret. Clears out all the timing. That's unfortunate, buddy. Maybe a second earlier and you would have got through. But yeah, the result's going to be the same. Team 1 will guarantee their half win now, moving on up to 8. So we are going to wrap things up in a full buy. And I gotta say, you couldn't really put an inch between these two teams. Same sort of classic approach to door, just spamming it down, seeing what they can achieve. Meanwhile, we do see the first duel of Secret, I feel like, this entire half. Secret has really been underutilized. I feel like every time this team sort of gone outside, even when they've done the full wall of smokes execute, they haven't sent really anyone down there. They've purely focused on wrapping back on towards the A site, coming in through hut, which is it's an interesting decision. I can't say it's hasn't worked out for them. Obviously, getting 6 rounds on their T side after all, but definitely an interesting note when you think about maybe what more they could have done if they were able to maybe try and leverage a B take just that little bit more. That said, they do have a great early pick. Let's see what they can do to hang on to that now. They're all, of course, pretty much grouped up, trying to head themselves out on towards A. Double stack coming in towards heaven makes life a little difficult, and with Turk on site just tapping heads, things just go from bad to worse as he gets a slam dunk. The Raptors showing a bit of form here as Team 1 just lend everything they can. The championship there's to take now as Peter will at least get himself one down on B in the form of a bomb plant, but whether he can actually hang on is a whole different game completely. 4 players, of course, for him to contend with. He'll be able to find one, a second potentially off the table, but looks like he'll be able to creep away. Live to fight another day. Sort of walk into him. That makes it a 1-on-2 now. He's stuck behind doors. The great pop flash as well. Look, we'll just get straight on the defuse though, and unfortunately he's not planted the bomb for himself. Gonna make life a little awkward. Finally he rotates into position, but it's too little, too late. And that's that. Our half concludes 9-6. A perfect half, all things considered. Both teams, I think, will be fairly happy with how things unfolded. There were definitely a few, I think, flaws in both sides, but all in all, 9-6 on Nuke sets us up for quite the competitive conclusion here. Still not sure who to put my money on either, which really sums up this game for me. Suyash, I am on Twitter. If you look at the Twitch stream title, you'll see my handle in it. I'd say type exclamation mark casters, but I'm pretty sure that'll give you the wrong Twitter, so. That said, an outside take into Secret comes through. It's ironic that I talk about rarely seeing it in the previous half, but it's the first thing we see going into a pistol here. Players just rallying their way down on towards B. Crashy is baiting them out as we see an absolute bloodbath on this Secret push. They're just going to be rotating into prime position to deny this plant as well as Peter works with him. Also 2-on-2, nearly caught reloading. You are kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place if you're burnt out. I mean, what can you do? You're in vent, you've got 2 players on both sides. No exit. Where do you go? Okay, Turk. Okay, buddy. Drive by 1-tap on towards Peter, why don't you? He's basically up towards A now. Nothing Mitch can do. This is a free plant if I've ever seen one, but he's playing it so safe as well. He's just waiting. Problem is, now he loses the plant. Is he going to go back to B again? Oh, you're messing with his heart. Oh, the double fake. Mitch just has to make the clutch call right now. He's going to stand his ground at the Asaya, or just as I say that, he rotates away. I like this, though. Very patient from him. Will Turk realise that's the play, though? Is Mitch going to overface it, maybe? Get spotted from Turk just being patient and sitting up above. Silent drop comes through. Straight for the plant. Mitch is just going to walk out. Catch him by surprise. And, well, it's, I wouldn't quite say a textbook one-on-one, but still a very well played one, to be honest, as well. Decides not to double back down towards B. Expects it to be a fake. And then goes for the silent walkout play when the plant is called to guarantee the kill, instead of just trying to deny the plant. Can't go wrong with it, to be fair. Smart use of a pause as well, I think, just to mentally reset after that one, as well as set out the strategy for how you're going to move forward, given that they're in kind of a tight spot financially. Obviously, we can see they've decided to go into this one guns blazing, but it's not all that simple. It's not like they can go, okay, 5 AKs, full util, let's go, boys. It's not quite that easy. They are going to have to opt for a scout on Maluk, a Galil Martin, Deagle on Bit. Now, they do get an AK up into DK and Turk, so it's not all bad. But it's definitely not perfect. But the same can be said about our CT side too, bear in mind. They're only carrying over a couple of MP9s and such, so not all perfect. I definitely would take an MP9, though, over just a Deagle on its own. That's for sure. Looks like Secret is once again going to be the answer. Team 1 have heard my prayers. They're going directly for it, just all waltzing on down. I say that, and not a single one of them has gone Secret. They're just conveniently located exactly in the same place, and they're actually walking outside, so the minimap catching us out once again. I do love the Nuke minimap, especially the default minimap. It really is just something special. Holds a special place in my heart, it really does. Crashies, gotta be careful. His position realised. Does pull out the nade to force the kill. So getting caught as well, trying to see if he can play off the smoke, catch him by surprise. Black crumbles. Barton will come in from up and above, but he'll lose his life almost instantly. That's a very quick and bloodthirsty round from the CT side, just shutting them down immediately. And we've opened the console because it's bound to shift for some reason. The last 2 rounds have gone very well. I like that actually. Early nade stack towards outside in case anyone does decide to get up close and rush it. Obviously aware of the fact that Team 1 are just on pistols here, likely to effectively use a bit of that blob mentality. Just rush towards us anywhere as a 5, really. So BA's like going to be their target. They've actually done a fair bit of damage. Hopefully the rifles will come in from heaven to save the day, but I was actually getting a little concerning there, to be honest. These gotta tell you, man, the MP9 is actually a pretty lethal gun, especially on maps where you've got a lot of close range choke points, or you can sort of jiggle off a wall as well. You can do a lot with it. It's definitely not an SMG you want to be writing off anytime soon. once more. Very similar outside take here. Molotov smokes being lined up as well. Just help them make their advances. Looks like they go for the immediate flash as well, but fortunately DK unable to jump off of that as it's just met good old fire and flames. Oh, don't need to take the extra tick of damage, but a small mistake as they will flash their way through, just making the push work. And can't help but feel like it's a little over-eager to continue charging down like that when you clearly know that someone is there waiting for you after the utility was used by the CT side. Peter, though, he's holding firm. He's expecting there to be a second player. He had good intuitions, but the minute he rotates away, it's kind of unfortunate, really, as Turk then swings out wide. One taps him out the server. And the B site completely given up on the duels. It all seems to be going away now. Team 1, Crashy's desperately trying to hang on with the door, but really relying on his teammate RZU to deny the plant. So far, so good. Eventually, we'll lose life in the end. Force Turk have to get the bomb plant. They're both playing at a distance from each other. Close, but not close enough. Crashies to finish it off. It will be the CT side for the first time on this matchup now, taking the lead as they go into double digits. They play so close to each other there, just pushing out through door as well. By no means was Crashies expected to be just that far out on towards site. Couple of very key jewels, I think, in that round. That really comes down to, A, Peter securing that first pick as they push through Secret. I think, if you're Team 1 right now, that was very predictable play. Kind of come back to bite them, unfortunately. The fact that Turk was able to get the second kill is definitely a little bit of redemption. Another big jewel, though, as well, was also Azayu and what he could do from ramp. The fact that he was able to deny the plant, even just for 5-10 seconds, was enough just to allow his teammate Crashies to continue to play with him from door. So definitely a few interesting moments as IDK shoots his teammate in the head now. That puts us in the 4-on-3 that we currently see. Crashies desperately trying to hang on from upper as he's mollied out of position. Bomb will go down, so it will have to be a retake, but nonetheless, crazy start to the round. Double molly, in fact, upper. Crashies just can't do anything here. Oh, another line of the native as well. Will that be a kill? Not quite, but good damage. And the amount of time being left on this bomb ticking as well, they got to go fast now. Crashies and co, you got to get yourself a sick flash and just make the push happen. The longer you leave it, the harder this is going to get. Shinobi comes flying on in, there's one, but the T side, they hang on, and they hang on decisively so. A triple kill picked up by the T side there too for DK. Mitch will eventually finish it off, but too little too late, buddy. The round is done. Team 1 up to 10 as well as they equalise once more, keep themselves very much in the game. Good use of a pause again as well from Team 1, just taking 30 seconds. Just to think about their options here, I mean, they are kind of right on the cusp of buying or not really buying. You've got 38.50 in the bank on some players, 35.50 on Nuke. So it's just a decision point really for them. That's why they paused. Evaluate, do we, what do we want to do? Do we want to buy, etc.? Obviously, yes, they can get some solid weaponry up on the bulk of their players, to be honest. But look at what they're missing. All that utility. The key thing is that they thought enough in advance to make sure they get the 2 smokes from DK and Barton. Obviously, Bit, the only player with full utility, it'll be fairly key that he's able to do something as he just dies immediately down vent with the SMG. Takes this Mach 10 for a bit of a ride, but let's see what the result will be. So far, not seeing a single player and no CT to hunt him either. Team 1, meanwhile, they're either outside or going secret. I have a small hunch that they're going to go secret given the position of Bit. He rotates to hill catch. He'll be completely surprised he's there. Could well lead to the round win here, to be honest. Fairly impactful kills. Curious to see what Crashies can do as well, bear in mind he's got that Mag 7 on his shoulders, so he will be someone to watch. limited presence, really, so far. Shinobi, practically the only player here on the CT side doing anything towards B. I'll say the MP9 is not something to sniffed at. There you go. Double kill in the end. Maluk still standing with the bomb on his back. Should be able to get that planted now. This really opens things up. DK going to find 2 of his own. Barton as well, with Maluk finding the plant. Puts him in even better stead as Crashies is the last man standing. I said I wanted to see something from the Mag 7, but Hero 1 on 3? Well, I guess you just don't quite get what you're given sometimes, do you? Spots the barrel of the AWP. Has to be so quiet here. Of course, doesn't want to give himself up at that range. A little bit more of an easy target. Now, though, shot fired. Mag 7 goes hunting. Crashies are struggling, but finally secures the kill in the end. AWP in hand. He'll be just making a quick sprint now. Trying to save it if he can. Not really sure how the Mag 7 misses that many shots close range, but he eventually did land one in fairness, but then it was the full body tank. Put him down to 20 HP or so, forcing him to have to get the second shot to finish him off. Loss of pistols and such in play now, and the hero or Pepita. It's also you can hear all of this, right? He knows full well they've gone through secret. You'd really hope that they would be aware of that fact. Not allow players to get caught off guard. A bit thinking he's killed him when the man's still standing. Flicks back up, finishes him off, and it all looks fairly comfortable. DK has just decided to molly off his teammate. Looks like Burton will push this one over the line, as it is just going to be now that ult remaining. I wonder, do you try and go for the save here? I mean, the bomb was planted, so in fairness, it's not not too hard of a save, to be honest, if he can get himself maybe into T-spawn. He knows he's going to get hunted, though. Or is he? I mean, Team 1, I think it'd be more interesting clearing CT and grouping up together. I guess their money isn't in a great spot, though, to be fair, so hunting might not be the greatest decision for them. That looks like that might be what they're doing, though, just clearing out CT, expecting him to be there. Little did I know he's actually over deep in T-spawn. Probably in the best position he could possibly be in. No chance in hell of finding him, but they do find themselves a bit of a lead forming here. 12 to 10 now on their T side. Team 1. So far, so good. Could be the full buy back in again, though, from our CT side. Definitely would put this as quite a vital round, I think, in this matchup. 2 rounds of difference. If they drop this, that gap's going to explode, potentially a 3, maybe even 4. Team 1 in a much stronger spot to try and close out map 1 in their favour. And I think going on to Mirage, Team 1 they'd be looking for that 2-0, to be honest. Mitchell already bagging that first kill. That puts that into at least a better position for the CT side. If Shinobi can do the work towards ramp, then, well, hey, we might even see quite something here. Mitch will be there to trade, and yeah, it all kind of works out for them. Maluk is last man standing. In terms of the veto, you are spot on. It was actually not Bears who picked Nuke. It was Team 1 who picked Nuke. Bears picked Mirage, and Overpass was left over, of course, after we saw a veto of Team 1 banning Dust 2 and removing Vertigo, and Bears banning Train and banning Inferno. Assuming the veto I'm reading is correct at this, but Outside take once again going to be taking shape here. Double molly sets up, flashes high as well with a smoke in play. Will give them good position to get out if they want, try and force the duel. If possible against Peter, but he's just disappeared completely, checking out of Secret, deciding to completely rotate deep into B here. Yeah, he's like coming under a little bit of pressure, but we're all just going to be equalized so far. As the push comes in, they just fountain out into the site itself. Crashy's immediately losing his life. The trade's coming through thick and fast, but Team 1 holding down very well, just leaving Peter all on his lonesome. He's in a 2-on-1, so it's not all bad for him, but with a missed shot as well, that gives up his position. Well, now, and he's really just played all his cards, to be honest. Great flash as well. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all come downhill for him, to be honest. All started with a single missed shot, but the result is the same. 13-11 now. Team 1. They'll be looking for their 14th here, if possible. I don't think Raptors Bears can warrant a bye here, to be honest. This will have to be Pistol Kev, I think. That puts Team 1 in such a great position to try and close this out now. 14-11, of course, on the table. They win the full bye. They're up against a full eco for the map point. Or for the win, should I say. Not even map point. They'll be on map point just for the win alone. Kind of interesting that Team 1 have gone for the pause when Bad News Bears are arguably in a spot where they could be thinking about the pause, to be honest, trying to evaluate just what the hell they want to do. We are going to see the Mag 7 come out again, so there is that. So it's a classic now. Peter using it a couple times in this matchup. Not really to any success, to be honest, apart from that one comedic moment in ramp. I'll have to be curious to see if that will actually be able to do anything more here. The rest of his team just, yeah, getting Deagles 5-7 and such up. It will be that half buy that we talked about. And Team 1, they must be loving this right now. It's exactly what they want. It's the smash of this half buy, guarantee 14, beat the full buy. It's the perfect recipe now for Team 1 to try and close this one out. With the aggression coming in play from the CTs as well, I was about to say this should be fairly easy for them to close out, but then Crashies just annihilates the Skullabartin. Lovely 1D, but looks like the result will still be the same anyway. Peter, last man standing in a 1-on-4. Something tells me we're not going to be seeing a Mag 7 going wild anytime soon. This is not quite old school Virtus Pro. See, the weird thing is that's not even Mubot deleting comments. That's Obot. I'm not really sure what Obot is, but that's a different bot, and that's banning people because they're using Cyrillic, I believe. Seeing predictions come in for a 14-16 turnaround here for the CT side. Not really feeling that's going to be the case. I mean, it's a buy round that's quite pivotal here, to be honest. Likely the last one we're going to see for the CTs. Second pick is going to be Mirage. Battle comes in now, immediately towards ramp. DK wins it hands down, only taking 24 points of damage as the duel is won out. And then rattles his way through in towards ramp. It's a great position, just catching them completely by surprise. Will be traded in the end though, so it does create this 3-on-3, but Mitch is 12 HP as well, which is not really ideal. He'll find himself even smoked off, which just makes matters worse for him. We'll go through the picks in just a few moments, guys. Do bear with, but quite a critical moment here, a 3-on-3. And of course, Maluk going immediately for the plant now. Not rushing this minute at all. Mitch unable to do anything, even low HP because of that smoke. Eventually Crashies will trade as Maluk caught out wide, but it is all going to come down to Crashies over towards Radio. Now, he's got nothing to use to force them out of position. Only these two flashes, which isn't really going to change anything at all. It's going to come down to his raw aim duel sort of prowess to try and hold on to this one as the camera decided to ruin us here. But it doesn't matter, because the result is going to be the same. Barton takes him down as Crashies come jumping into his position. Wins it out 15-11. And from there, they are going to be up against this force buy of sort of pistols, SMGs and such to try and hold on. Now, in terms of the veto, we will get there now. It is as follows. We'll go through the whole thing just to give everyone the full picture, as it's been quite a commonly requested question. So, Team 1 removed Dust 2, Bad News Bears removed Train. Team 1 then picked Nuke. BNB picked Mirage. Team 1 removed Vertigo. BNB removed Inferno, leaving Overpass. So our best of 3, of course, is Nuke, Mirage, and Overpass. And it looks like it might well be getting into that second map very, very soon, as Turk already starts things off strong. A great early frag. Claimed towards the outside of the map. Continue, of course, to put pressure. As PTR is then found, Shinobi next in line, RCU just stopping and almost staring at his monitor, trying to figure out what he could possibly do here. Great position to catch him by surprise, but doesn't find the kill. Maluk was still walking on 5 HP. That poor guy. So close from a kill, but the MP9 at that range, not exactly ideal. There you have it. The result, as we expected, 16 to 11. They win that full buy, and from there, well, the force up was just never going to go their way. 4 rounds back to back to force this one over the line, of course. Team 1 with a fairly competitive result, I think, on Nuke, but you also can't take that away from BNB. They fought long and hard, and they really did bring quite a close game of CS into this best of 3. So Mirage is anyone's game, that's for sure. We could be going the full distance, the 3-map thriller. We'll have to find out, but we are going to be heading to a very short break while we get ourselves prepared for Mirage. Folks, we'll be back with you soon, after what should be just a couple of minutes.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.